Blake Lively tried to extort, blackmail, witness tamper, all of those things with Taylor Swift.
Swift was really hurt after being implicated in this fight.
With a decade's worth of private texts requesting support in court, Blake Lively allegedly attempted to extort Taylor Swift. And what's more, the judge is not happy about it.
When you think about it, how Taylor all these past few months has been denying that she knows anything about it. She hasn't been part of it. She doesn't want to be involved. But they were behind the scenes already sharing this information with Brian Freeman.
Blake continues to persuade his patients through PR ploys and legal chaos. And now her diva-level delusions have even irritated the...
He responds directly to an affidavit that Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Freeman, submitted to the court, and we've got the details.
Therefore, let's just remove the bandage. Blake Lively was accused of trying to sway Taylor Swift. Yeah, Gaslight Girl quickly became Gossip Girl. Brian Freeman, Justin Baldwin's attorney, dropped a legal grenade so large that Hollywood Botox frozen in mid-injection in what can only be described as the Super Bowl of celebrity betrayal.
Painting Taylor Swift, he knew what he was doing. This wasn't just a fly-by-night thing.
This man made a direct accusation against Blake, saying he had threatened to leak 10 years worth of private texts he had exchanged with Taylor Swift if Taylor didn't go full I stand with Blake mode during the law.
Taylor, essentially, that unless she backed up Blake's claims of SH, then they would release personal text messages about Taylor Swift to the public.
Let's dissect that. Imagine claiming to have cornered one of the world's most powerful women and told her, "Back me or I'm unleashing the receipts," because you were so entitled and desperate for support in your PR dumpster fire. For instance, is this a hostage negotiation or a friendship? And the list goes on and on.
And this has been hanging over them since the Super Bowl.
Additionally, we know that they wanted Taylor to delete text messages between her and Blake, as well as between her and Ryan. We are unaware of the contents of those text messages. Now, it gets even more crispy here. This was not a random rant on Twitter. This allegation was filed in court, as in legally submitted with a sworn affidavit. If you lie in one of those, you could be charged with perjury and lose your legal career. Therefore, Brian Freeman was not just exaggerating. This was a bet he was making on his license. He said, "I'm a lawyer," literally. "I stand behind this. Additionally, you can despise me if I lie. That isn't tea. That a boiling pot of scalding truth, ready to..."
Also, that they wanted Taylor to delete text messages, I guess between her and perhaps between her and Ryan, but we know between her and Blake. We don't know what is in those text messages.
Also, can you guess what the judge did? He tossed everything out. Not because he believed it to be nonsense. Nope. However, due to the fact that Vino LLP, the law firm handling the subpoena, is based in Washington, D.C., not New York. That is correct. Louis J. Judge Lyman basically said, "Yeah, not my circus, not my jurisdiction," and shrugged. Blake did not receive any prizes. "This isn't my table," the court simply stated. "Go to D.C. with your scandalous mess."
Brian Freeman wrote to the judge. Now, I'm going to read it out to you, and he's asserting how he found the information, and he's affirming that, like, I'm a lawyer, I'm putting my career on the line, I am putting myself in.
Let's take a moment to discuss that affidavit, because the specifics are crucial. February 14th, 2025 is Valentine's Day. Brian Freeman was getting a call from someone who was very close to Taylor Swift, and the rest of us were wondering why we were still single.
Yesterday, it was known that Judge Lehman had striked the letter that Freeman sent him, explaining why he needed to subpoena Taylor.
Not just any source. Someone with access comparable to that for which the majority of people would trade a kidney. 60 minutes of insider drama that makes any Real Housewives reunion seem like nap time followed by an hour-long
voicemail from a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, whom I subsequently called back the same day. Out of respect for the individual in question, I am not identifying them at this time. However, should the court direct me to do so, I will comply with the court's.
According to the source, Blake's attorney Michael Gatley, if you remember that name, called Taylor's attorney during this call and basically gave the mob boss an ultimatum. If Taylor doesn't support Blake, 10 years of texts will be posted online. This is not only shady. That's petty to the villain's origin story levels.
This affidavit in opposition to the motion to strike filed on May 14, 2025 by Blake Lively regarding my May 14, 2025 letter elaborating on the basis for Wayfarer Parties subpoena to Venable LLP. So Venable is the law firm that represents Taylor. Michael Gottlieb, Blake's attorney, he's the one denying that any of this ever happened in the press. So not only is he defending his client, but he's trying to defend himself. This is why it almost seems like his response is very emotional.